episode of Seraph of the End, Vampire Reign. Guren and his battle-hardy team fight against a group of aristocratic sword-wielding vampires looking for blood. Not to mention Yu gets to have a grand reunion with his best friend Mika, which gets a little stabby. I really don't have much to say about this episode, and that's mostly because the first half of the episode, to me, seemed like it was dragging things out a little too much. It was basically just a build-up to the real battle at the end of this week's episode, which really didn't kick in until about 16 minutes in the episode. Despite that, there still are some highlights. There is a lot of atmosphere in the first half, and there are a few scenes of his team whipping ass on some vampires, which is nice, but it's a really nice juxtaposition to the final part of the episode, where frankly, shit just gets real. Mika, Farid, and the other vampires pretty much just destroy Guren and their team, and it's really no contest. It's really surprising and incredibly shocking, because Guren himself is so freaking awesome, and that's not to say that he isn't awesome in this week's episode. When they're jumping around and destroying buildings, I especially love this one scene where he uses this like weird anti-vampire tag that he puts on Mika's face, but Mika's able to get away from that, and it causes this entire building to explode right before them. It's pretty amazing. The big shock comes at the very end of the episode where suddenly Farid decides to help out Mika in battle and he just backhands Guren, which sends him flying across the city, flying into pillars, crashing into it Dragon Ball Z style, and he somehow is still able to live, and he plans on taking that weird medicine which is going to make him much stronger. That is until Mika stabs him right in the heart. It's right at this time that Yu and his team have arrived. Yu suddenly sees what's going on. He charges the vampire, stabs right through him, and then he realizes that it's his best friend Mika, giving us our to-be-continued screen. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of Seraph of the End? Very simple, very fun episode, mostly for the last couple of minutes. All the action there was really good, and everybody got to do something really cool. It wasn't just the awesome action between Guren and Mika destroying buildings, but you had all the different members of his team working together using their combination attacks. I just wish we got to know the team a little bit more so I could care about them a little bit. I mean, it all looks cool. It's all visually appealing, but I just don't care about the characters as much as I want to. However, when Guren is killed, that was probably the first moment of the series I was a little shocked. And of course, Yu and Mika finally seeing each other again after all this time. I never imagined that it would actually be like this. I thought it would be something a little more subtle. This was a little more over the top, and I really like the shock value of it. I think it's really great. And I can't wait to see how it's going to open up in the next episode, if they're literally going to start fighting with each other, or if it's actually going to be a true reunion, if they try to actually work together. This is going to be a big turning point for the series, so I really can't wait to see where it's going to go with that, especially because Guren might have been killed in this episode. You know, in anime, it's always hard to tell, you know, but it looks like he was stabbed in the heart, and I don't know how he's going to survive that. Maybe his weird demon sword is going to heal him. Maybe it's going to have some sort of special ability. Maybe Guren hasn't even gotten started yet. Maybe he's going to pop those pills and just go crazy Rock Lee style. All I know is, we're just gonna have to watch. Even though I didn't like the first half of the episode that much, it did have some good characterization for Yu. He is growing closer to his teammates, in particular Shinoa. It's pretty clear they're going to have some form of romantic relationship eventually. And she was pretty awesome this week, as well as the other members of the team when they were slaying all of those vampires. But it's really the last couple minutes of this week's episode where things really shined. Everybody got to do something cool. The vampires, the humans. It was awesome. It had a great shocking ending, and it makes me really want to watch the next episode. So you should definitely check out this week's episode. It wasn't anything groundbreaking, but it was still pretty entertaining. So I'm going to give this week's episode a 3 out of 5. Just a fun, average episode of Seraph of the End, but a great build-up for the next episode. So check it out, manga fans. Check it out, anime fans. You might see something you like. So I really liked this episode quite a bit, but what about you guys? Did you watch this week's episode of Seraph of the End? Did you have a favorite action scene, a favorite character who showed up? Do you have a favorite member of Guren's team? They all have some really cool powers, like that one chick with the razor wire, the guy who can actually conjure those weird smoky spirits, or of course, the shotgun girl. They're all awesome! What do you think of them? Please tell me in the comments section below. Thank you guys for watching my review. Make sure to like the video, share it with all your friends, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. That way you can see all of our latest anime and manga reviews as they are released. You guys should also follow us on social media, and you should also check out our brand new podcast show. We have a new episode that is going to be released next Monday, so look for that. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby!